Morning.
And welcome to the City of St. Pete Beach Special Magistrate Code Enforcement Meeting for February 10th, 2025. My name is Erica Agello, and I am an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of Florida by the Florida Bar. I have been appointed by the City of St. Pete Beach to serve as the special magistrate for code enforcement hearings. I am not an employee of the City of St. Pete Beach, but I am an independent attorney. I do not confer with the city's code enforcement officers outside of the hearing process about your cases. Your hearing will be conducted in accordance with the Florida law and the Code of Ordinances of the City of St. Pete Beach. The burden of proof is on the city to prove its case, and you have a right to respond to the city's case. In these types of proceedings, the formal rules of evidence do not apply to the cases on today's docket. Everyone will have an opportunity to testify and present any evidence, including photographs and records. Anyone who is testifying today will be required to testify under oath. I reserve the right to decide if anything to which you are testifying or any evidence you are presenting is beyond the scope of the relevance to your case. My goal is to make sure that I conduct a fair hearing during which everyone is given a chance to present everything you think I need to hear to decide the case today. At the end of the case, I will most likely announce my decision today, and a written decision will follow and will be mailed or emailed to you, provided that we have your information on the sign-in sheet. Please understand that I do not have the authority to grant variances or give you permission to do something that the Code of Ordinances does not allow you to do. I will try to be clear and concise in making my decision. If something about my decision is confusing or unclear, please ask me to clarify my decision. If I find that you have violated the Code of Ordinances, I will most likely order you bring the property into full compliance within a specific number of days. I also have the legal authority to impose a fine and administrative costs incurred by the city in filing the case. If you fail to pay the fine by the deadline, the city will most likely file a lien against your property, which will cloud title to your property and may jeopardize your ability to sell the property or pledge it to secure a loan on the property. In some cases, the city has the option of foreclosing on the lien to get title to your property, just like the bank or lender. When I call your case, please come to the podium and identify yourself. Let me know whether you are the owner or what your affiliation with the property owner is. I will then ask the city code enforcement officer to present the case. Then you may respond to the case, and you may ask questions of the code enforcement officer. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will announce my decision. Please understand that the goal of these hearings is not to punish you, but to get compliance if the city is correct in its assessment of your property. The hearing is being video recorded, so you will need to speak into the microphone. I will now ask everyone who is testifying today to please stand and raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. So sworn. Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda this morning?
I believe so.
Good morning, Madam Special Magistrate. There is a change to the agenda. Case number 2024-0494, which is 5A under new cases, is continued.
Is that being continued to a date certain?
3/10.
March 10th at 10 a.m.
March 10 at 10.
Okay, and are there any other changes to the agenda this morning?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I will go ahead and call the first case, case number 202400157, City of St. Pete Beach versus 1008 Airport Road LLC.
Morning, Special Magistrate. Bear with me for my voice. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl yesterday, so it's a little rough, so bear with me, please. This is case number 2024-0157. This is a status hearing on a 2-week extension to secure the dumpster enclosure permit. The city is just going to be asking for and is agreeable to giving an additional 30 days to fully secure the permit. The contractor did get the fire final. That's done. Put in for another review. It got denied, but they're working towards compliance.
Okay.
So we're agreeable to a 30-day extension.
Okay. And is there anyone here on behalf of 1008 Airport Road LLC? If you could come and state your name for the record for me.
Jonathan Finch.
And Mr. Finch, are you amenable to the 30-day extension on this to work through the permitting process?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna ask you guys and just see what you guys thought about it. We have another permit in because we're kind of working in our building with fold-up chairs and tables, waiting for a permit to go through so we can, do like everyone else and and get the building back up to where it was before. But to do that, we're going to need I guess the cheapest and easiest way is we're going to need to get trailers for all the stuff that we have inside the building. Once the permit gets approved, that's going to take up parking space on the side of the building where I'm trying to get the permit also for the enclosures.
Dumpster enclosure.
So I don't know, to be honest, with the permits and everything, whether or not I'm going to be in here again in 30 days going, hey, well, actually before that, going, I don't know where those trailers are going to go. The best place is right there. I don't know how long it's going to take, but they're kind of in a conflict now. So if the permit goes through, it would be actually better if it was 2 months from now, 3 months from now, when I actually start to do that work on the enclosure, because I'm going to have temporary office space, AC, and another trailer, possibly 2 or 3 trailers in the parking lot, in order to house all the linen, all the furniture, everything, and then so they can work inside the building to actually get that done. So I'm not sure what to do in this situation, because I do anticipate some sort of conflict with it.
Mr. Cruz, do you know my order said to secure the permit, correct, but not to complete the project? Okay. Okay.
Okay. That permit, and then you make sure you just keep in touch, because you're allowed to, once it's opened up, you'll have some time before your contractor has to go.
Okay, all right, so
that
permit's
might-
secure, and then I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be going, hey, you
Right.
haven't made any movement on actually doing the enclosure.
Right. That
It'll
might
be
be
okay.
that sounds like it might be a separate issue altogether. You might have, with a permit, you might have 180 days, and then you can work with the city on if you even need more time than that. But, so for the purposes of this, it was just to secure the permit. So is this 30 days seem sufficient to secure the permit for you?
Yeah, I don't see any issue with that.
Okay. So then I will go ahead and grant an additional 30-day extension. Since today is February 10th, the 30 days is going to put us after the March hearing into the April hearing. So we will come back if needed at the April hearing for a status check. If we don't need to because it's been complied, then that won't be necessary.
Okay.
And of course, I will get you a written order to that effect.
All right,
Thank you,
so
Mr.
much.
Finch. Okay, moving on to case number 2024-0633, City of St. Pete Beach versus Nancy Gibbs Roy and Janet Gibbs Skelly Hayden.
Thank you, Special Magistrate Louis Cruz, representing the City of St. Pete Beach Code Enforcement. This is a status hearing on a 14-day extension to remove the broken fence debris and come into compliance. Overhead, please. The property has been cleaned up. They are in compliance. The city will not be asking for any fines or admin costs.
Okay, so no fines, no admin costs, but the property is now in compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyone here on behalf of Ms. Roy or Ms. Hayden? Okay, seeing no one, then the property is now in compliance. There will be no fees and no fines assessed with that. Case number 202, oh, and Mr. Cruz, did you want just an order finding that the property is now in compliance on that? Okay.
Yes, please.
Case number 202400663, City of St. Pete Beach versus Family International Home Builders LLC. Mr. Cruz?
Thank you, Special Magistrate Louis Cruz, representing the City of St. Pete Beach Code Enforcement. This is a status hearing on a 14-day extension to clean or remove the debris from the property and bring the property into compliance. The property is not compliant, so the city will be asking for a previous recommended fine of $250 per day from 12/24/2024 until compliant, plus $329 for administrative costs, plus any recording fees associated with this case if they are not to come into compliance within that 20-day time frame.
Okay. Is anyone here on behalf of Family International Home Builders LLC? Anyone here on behalf of Family International Home Builders LLC? And have you had any contact with the property owner at all?
Tried to reach out multiple times. There was a previous case that my coworker had that the owner of that property that he was dealing with said he was the part owner. Again, there's all these part owners. There's this weird dynamic they have going on, but I've tried to reach out multiple times in different ways and have not received any communication.
And just for the record, I have my orders that I've sent out to this particular property owner before to the addresses located in the tax collector and on the property appraiser's website have come back as undeliverable or otherwise rejected.
Yes.
So, okay. Okay, then at this point, I will go ahead and And the property has been posted, is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
I will go ahead and grant the find that the property still remains in violation as of the date of the hearing. I will issue a $250 a day fine starting on December 24th, 2024, running until the property comes into compliance, as well as the $329 in reasonable administrative costs of the city and any reasonable amount for recording fees for a lien should it be required. And it is the property owner's responsibility to let the city know when the property comes into compliance.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to case number 202406668, City of St. Pete Beach versus Transform LLC.
Thank you, Special Magistrate. Louis Cruz representing the City of St. Pete Beach Code Enforcement. This is a status hearing on a 14-day extension to clean and remove the debris from the property and bring the property into compliance. Overhead, please. Thank you. There's one. And the other side, so the property is clean and compliant. The city will not be asking for any fines or any admin costs.
Okay, anyone here on behalf of Transform LLC?
Thank you.
Okay, I will find that the property is now in compliance, and I will not be assessing any fines or any administrative costs of the city.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 5A, which was continued to the March 10th. So moving on to agenda item 8A, lien reductions, case number 2024040, City of St. Pete Beach versus Christopher and Brianna Smith.
Good morning, Special Magistrate Pete Dewar, Code Enforcement Manager for the City of St. Pete Beach. The request before you for a lien reduction go to the overhead, please. The respondent has requested that the amount to be reduced is to $11,000 plus $325 admin fees. The city would like to deny the reduction request since there is zero tolerance for short-term rental. And so the fines are $22,000, which is the lien, plus the administrative cost of $325.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Dewar. Anyone here on behalf of the property owners?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jeff Pfeiffer. I represent Mr. Smith. Yeah, we're here again on a lien reduction request this time. I believe last time we were here I had indicated Mr. Smith is willing to make a payment to try to satisfy this. He did only make $9,868.97 from those rentals. At the moment, his home has been heavily impacted by the storms and the hurricane. He's not currently living in that home any longer, trying to use all available resources that he has at the moment to get that home back into livable condition and possibly find a new place. He's not asking that the fine be completely removed. He is willing to put forth $11,000 plus the $325 administrative fees. That would be half of the original amount plus the administrative costs. Given his current living situation, the amount of money that he made off the rentals being less than $10,000, and the fact that he's never had any previous code issues, we would believe that that may be fair. That taking the rental money that he made off of those properties, reimbursing the city for their costs, is still a deterrent in our opinion. For him, that's still a substantial amount of money at $11,000. He's not currently indebted to the city for any reason at this moment, as far as I'm aware. He's paid his property taxes. So we're asking the tribunal to take that into consideration and revisit the fine that was assessed and maybe work with him so that the impact can be more financially feasible.
Okay, and as far as the payment, if the lien reduction is granted, is there a specific time frame? Usually we have, my orders state 30 days to pay it, and if it's not paid within the 30 days, then it reverts back to the full fine amount. Is that acceptable?
Yes, Your Honor, I can pay that within 30 days
Okay.
within the time frame.
Okay. All right, anything else that you'd like to add?
That's it.
All right, anything else from the city on this one? Okay. I am, based on the credible evidence that was presented here at today's hearing, I am going to be willing to grant the lien reduction and reduce the lien from $22,000 to $11,000, and with the $325 in administrative costs. And I will get an order to you that dictates that.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else that we need to discuss today?
No, thank you.
This was an easy one. I did want to mention, I do have, in addition to the 1,000, or in addition to the Jacobson continuance, I do believe the base shops, I will get an order on that one as well for you, Mr. Cruz. I figured I'd just do it in one fell swoop and get them
Thank
all
you.
out. Okay, thank you all. Have a wonderful day. We are adjourned.